Circle is a magic place, a ring that is unbroken, a comic and a tragic space.
We gather in our sacred space.
Once more we find
A circle of women from diverse backgrounds,
seeking to share experiences and feelings safely and confidentially.
Each woman who wishes to speak may do so without judgment or interruption.
Our intention is to listen and support each other.
And only offer advice if it is requested.
Every voice is full of care, and each one joins our chorus.
Thank the goddesses for our monthly women's circle. I was nearly arrested for murder today.
What?
Yeah, the other teachers were so obnoxious. I was ready to mow them down.
Okay, well, you're here now, so let's just take a moment, take a deep breath. You are now in the safety of the circle.
Sorry, you had such a rough day, Sandy. Oh, I'm so glad I could make tonight's circle. I haven't seen you all since we met at the restaurant, and I missed last month's meeting.
It was nice having everyone at my place, but we missed you, Robin.
Oh, I would have loved to have seen your place, Sandy, but I've been so busy.
I know, but Sandy helped you get your resume together. How's the job search going?
I didn't need to look for one, Jean.
Well, what do you mean, Robin?
Okay, listen to it. You know how my boss has been harassing me, talking to my chest and leaning in on me? Well, I was considering calling him out like we talked about at the restaurant, but then guess what? I killed him.
That's great.
What?
Another one bites the dust. Woo!
Okay, no. Okay, here's what really happened. My coworker, Sharon, happened to walk in while he was putting his arm around me and talking really close to my face. Well, afterwards, she told me he also does it to her. So we both went to the owner and told her what was going on.
And?
He was suspended without pay and formally written up. And then he resigned. My new boss seems much more professional, and I consider this a huge win.
We are the champions.
Yes, it is a win for us all.
Hi, everyone. I'm really sorry we're so late, but my maid of honor, Carol, called me just as Pat and I were about to leave the office. She's making a big deal about the color of the dresses I picked for my wedding.
I couldn't believe it. I could only hear Jamie's side of the conversation. I wanted to grab Carol through the phone and smack her up the side of the head.
What the hell is wrong with her? Tell her to hit the road, Jack.
Well, she does have great fashion sense. I mean, if you saw her when we were in college, you'd have thought she's a model. We are really good friends. She even took care of me when I had gallbladder surgery last year.
So why then is she giving you such a hard time?
Well, I don't want to take up the women's circle time, Jean. We probably should get started.
Well, we're still waiting for Leslie, so there's time if you want to tell us more, Jamie.
You know, I wonder if she's just used to being the star. In our sorority, she was always the center of attention, often in charge. I remember how each year she organized a fashion show to raise money for the local animal shelter. No leather, of course.
But this is your special day, Jamie.
You're right, Robin. My first wedding was just a small church wedding and no reception. We just went out to dinner afterwards. I was really looking forward to throwing myself a big shindig.
Hi, Leslie. Glad you could make it. We're about to get started, but let me catch you up a little bit first. Robin had some great news. Another gal at work came forward and they both went to the owner. Long story short, her boss resigned. Jamie, on the other hand, she's dealing with,
The bridesmaids from hell.
I guess, well, I guess that's all the big news. Maybe we should get started.
Good idea.
Okay, well, we gather together in our sacred space, a circle of women from diverse backgrounds seeking to share experiences and feelings safely and confidentially. Each woman who wishes to speak may do so without judgment or interruption. Our intention is to listen and support each other and only offer advice if requested. So, Jamie suggested this month's topic. Would you tell the group, please?
I know how we are focused on taking down the patriarchy and standing up to misogyny, but my recent experiences planning my own wedding got me thinking about how sometimes women are the problem. We don't always support or respect each other and our choices as we should. I thought it would be helpful if we could each share our own experiences where we did not receive the support we hoped for. And maybe we can give that support now at this time, given that that is one of the purposes of our circle.
It always amazes me that pro-choice feminists are not always so pro-choice.
Sandy, what do you mean by that?
Like when I'm in the teacher's lounge, all these women teachers are gossiping and judging other women, including the students' parents, especially the moms. Mothers are always at fault if you listen to them. I can't believe the trash that comes out of the mouths of allegedly educated people about the students and their parents.
Well, my goodness, what kind of things do they say? And how do you handle it?
I'm telling you, Sarah's mom is such a slut. All three kids have different fathers. It's no wonder she never gets her homework done. Her mom's too busy spreading her wings.
I bet you Father's Day is a confusing holiday in that house. Oh, what about Jacob's mom? She stays at home all day and doesn't lift a finger to help him with his homework. I doubt she even graduated high school herself. Lazy, just plain lazy.
We really don't know the full situation, what it is.
Well, that's true. Jacob's mom was one of the few that actually made fresh cookies for our last bake sale.
I hope you didn't eat any. Who knows what's in them?
And what about Jordan? He and his brothers are always at their grandparents' house. Their parents are never around, never show up for parent-teacher conferences, events, or fundraisers. Why do they bother having kids?
Well, don't both his parents work multiple jobs? I always see her at the grocery store on the weekend, and she looks like she's...
Whatever. They shouldn't have had so many kids if they couldn't afford them.
I mean, you name it, whatever choice the woman makes is wrong. I eat in my classroom because I cannot stand it in there. I only go in there to use the copy machine.
Sandy, that sounds awful. It makes me think about how when my mom was involved with the New York National Organization for Women, she chose to be a stay-at-home mom, right? Well, you would have thought that she was a traitor by the way the other feminists treated her. They'd say, "What, you stay at home with your kids? But you're so smart. You should be in college or building a career. What do you do all day anyway?"
Oh, you are so right, Jane. Even today, transgender women are excluded by some feminist leaders who refuse to accept us as women.
And you know, back in college, when I was harassed by a male faculty member, I did tell one person. my female advisor. She didn't believe me. She asked me what I wore to class.
What the hell? Oh, Leslie, I'm so sorry you went through that. That's a prime example of a woman not supporting another woman.
Imagine what might have happened if she had believed me. Dr. Miller, I just wanted to stop by to thank you. If it weren't for your support 3 years ago, I wouldn't be graduating next week. And who knows how many other students are also graduating because of your help and support.
I'm so proud of you. It was very brave of you to come and speak to me back then. I'm glad you took advantage of the counseling, even though it was quite difficult. It was necessary as it gave you the confidence to continue with the process of filing a report and having that professor removed. It empowered other women to disclose their own experiences with him.
Well, I couldn't have done it on my own. I am so grateful for the support and encouragement you gave me.
So what's next for you?
I'm so excited. I have 3 interviews right after graduation to be an art teacher. I can't wait. If only it had happened that way.
Oh, Leslie, do you need a hug?
Thanks, Robin. I'm okay. I just wandered off into what if land.
Well, Jamie, do you want to start off our topic discussion?
Georgine, I'm struggling with the issues with my bridesmaids. It'd be real helpful to me if we could all talk about this.
Absolutely. Quite frankly, not only do we want to give you support, but those issues are very much related to things that we've all experienced.
Thank you so much, Pat. I really appreciate the support. Look, it's not just the dresses. All 5 of my bridesmaids are pressuring me to take John's last name, but I don't want to. I don't even want a bachelorette party, but they are insisting we go to Vegas. And Audrey's a vegetarian. She feels the menu should be completely meatless. You know, I really love these women. They were my sorority sisters, and we had such a close-knit group. I just don't understand how we grew so differently. I almost wish we hadn't reconnected at all. It would have been easier to remember them the way they were.
Preconceived ideas and expectations often set us up for disappointment.
Plus, planning a wedding is always stressful. I remember when my daughter was planning her wedding and I was helping. Well, I just wanted to say, here's the budget, have at it. But I had to be involved in every little detail.
So, how do we help you, Jamie? It seems like they're trying to take control of your wedding.
Gee, I wish the circle had started sooner, and I could have had you all, my chosen sisters, as my bridal party.
This was a great idea, Leslie. A spa day instead of a traditional bachelorette party?
Yes, I really needed this. I've been so stressed, y'all, with the wedding planning and relaxing with my bridal party. It's the perfect way to celebrate.
Ooh, this coconut passion smoothie is so delicious. You don't even miss the alcohol.
Guess what, Jamie? I've almost sculpted all your centerpieces. After a relaxing day like this, I'm sure I will finish tomorrow.
I'm so glad I chose you gals as my bridal party. I was thinking about my sorority sisters from college, but who knows what they're like now.
We'd really like to help you regain control over your bridal party.
Well, Sandy, they're not really controlling, just a bit opinionated.
Yes, women get opinionated and sometimes even unkind to each other. I think we've all been in situations where we were counting on the support of our sisters, and that didn't happen. Sometimes quite the opposite.
And we should be straightening each other's crowns and lifting each other up. Unfortunately, sometimes those crowns are made of daggers and flames.
Oh, you've got that right, Leslie.
Jamie, tell us about the wedding party dresses you picked out.
I picked these beautiful yellow chiffon full-length dresses. The cut is simply flattering. Plus, my granddaughter Leah, oh, she'll look so cute in her yellow flower girl dress. I know yellow's not the perfect color for everyone, but my mom loved daffodils. I remember watching her plant the bulbs and the sun catching her auburn hair, and it's my tribute to her memory.
Sounds really beautiful. Do you think that it would make them happier if they could choose the style of the dress and the shade of yellow? Do you really need them all to look exactly the same?
Wow, Robin, I can't believe I didn't think of that. I guess because every wedding I went to as a young girl was very traditional. The bride was in white, the groom and the groomsmen wore tuxedos, and the bridesmaids all matched.
You told your bridesmaids why you picked yellow?
I figured I would just decide. Didn't even occur to me. But I think that's a great idea, Leslie.
Well, that's one problem solved. What's next on the list?
Jamie, what is John's last name?
Flynn. His name is John Flynn. I took my husband's name. I took my first husband's name. Then when we got divorced, I went back to my maiden name, even though my kid still had his last name. I've decided my maiden name is my true name.
Listen, Jamie, I think if you feel guided to keep your given name, then that's what you should do. I mean, I'm sorry about your bridal party not supporting you on that, but when I graduated college and got married, I had everyone's support, right? After all, that's what a woman was supposed to do, get married and have kids. Well, then I got divorced, and my well-meaning associates and acquaintances apparently never left the 1950s because they kept insisting that I needed a partner. I'm just not interested right now. I just want to be alone and define myself in terms of me, right? Solo se yo.
There are advantages to being alone.
Exactly. It keeps out all that external noise. Sometimes you need to be with yourself. You need silence so you can figure out what's going on in your head.
Jean, I really liked the way you said be with yourself instead of by yourself. Huh. I made a mental note of that one.
Well, as you know, I got married to my high school sweetheart and had kids, and I'm perfectly happy with my decision. I'm also glad that my kids are grown, so I have some me time. But I totally support each person's choosing what is right for their life. We don't belong in boxes.
And the people in the houses all went to university where they were put in boxes and they came out all the same. Oh my goodness. Everybody was trying to shove me into the married with children box just to appease the heterosexual norm. But I wasn't having any of that. I will admit I had one friend who was supportive, and thank goodness for her. But the rest of my friends and family, especially the women, were not. They couldn't understand why I didn't want the same things that they wanted.
I guess I was lucky in that respect. My family was and continues to be fully supportive of me as a trans woman. When I told my parents and sisters, even back in the 1980s, they were great. I was inspired by Renee Richards, who had gender affirmation surgery in the 1970s. Can you believe she was outed by Richard Carlson?
Who the heck is Richard Carlson?
Oh, he was a news anchor and Tucker Carlson's father. Because of him, Renee Richards was denied the opportunity to participate in several professional tennis matches. It wasn't until a judge found in her favor that she was able to compete again, if only for a while.
Richard Carlson, what a dick.
I mean, Tucker Carlson is just as bad. The apple doesn't fall far from that tree. They didn't have Fox News Network back then when Richard Carlson was working, but they still had some uber conservative news anchors and reporters looking to ruin people's lives. And he was one of them.
Like I said, I was really fortunate. Oh, thank God for my family. But as you know, my current situation involves very unsupportive feminists. Oh, I've been trying to work with the Women's March, and they come at me with statements like, "You're not really a woman. You have no idea what it's like to have a monthly cycle or worry about walking alone at night."
It's ridiculous.
But
It is crazy how some people, including women, want to tell us who and what we are and how to be a woman instead of honoring each woman's journey. You know, as each of you been sharing your stories, it really brings me back to how I just do not want to have a bachelorette party in Vegas.
If you don't mind me asking, why not? I mean, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Viva Las Vegas!
For one thing, I am not into gambling, and a couple of my bridal party members drink to excess. I just don't want that crap happening right before my wedding. As it is, I've decided to have a cash bar to see if it might curtail that activity.
alcohol can really ruin things. One time, my mother stopped by and she was drunk, as usual. Despite spending so much money on alcohol, she managed to buy designer clothing. So she set her Michael Kors purse next to her chair. When she went to leave, my cat, O'Keefe, had used it for a scratching post. She started screaming at me. Why didn't you get that damn furball declawed? She ruined my purse. Well, I think declawing is cruel. And so is my mother when she's drunk.
That is awful, Leslie. My mom doesn't drink, but she would constantly harass me about declawing my cats whenever I had one. It is just plain cruel and unnecessary.
From my experience, nothing is made better by the addition of alcohol, especially in excess. The other thing is that we're not 20 anymore. I want to be rested and at my best for my big day. Traveling and spending all that time, energy, and money just makes no sense to me.
You have a lot to think about, Jamie. Those are all very valid reasons.
I do have a lot to think about. I'll check in again once I've given it some thought. Thank you all for listening and giving me good options to consider.
Well, looks like our circle time is coming to an end. I'd like to close the circle and invite any of you to hang out longer if you'd like. Yeah? Okay, good. So, our circle of women is always stronger than the patriarchy. May we all leave here with renewed strength and purpose.
What do y'all think I should do? Should I just go along with my bridal party and go to Vegas? Should I assert and honor myself by telling them I just don't want a bachelorette party and tell the bridesmaids from hell to go to hell? Or should I ask them for alternatives or suggest my own, such as a relaxing spa day? You decide. Voting information and links are below in the description. Watch for the next episode of A Circle of Women based on your votes. And be sure to subscribe to the Spoonie Theater YouTube channel so you never miss an episode. Bye, y'all.
A circle is a magic place, a ring that is unbroken, a comic and a tragic space, depending on what's spoken. Once more we find ourselves inside, we're looking and we're seeking. We're brave because we shall not hide, as each her truth is speaking. And each one speaks the truth she lives. Now softly we each thank her. No judgment, only praise we give. We feel no need to rank her. Our circle is a gift we share, each sister now who's for us. And every voice is full of care, and each one joins our chorus.